up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show. Today we got some news for you. We're going to talk about a couple of games. One being the new Kingdom Come Deliverance, the other Vermintide 2 beta. So we're going to chat about that, and we got some news to get into. And then we're going to be on our way, and we'll catch you guys Friday for our tech portion of the show. I'm thinking I might move the tech show from Friday earlier in the week. That way, it's because we record these pretty much a week early, and I think that's just too much time before it actually airs, because by the time it airs, I mean, some of the news is already a week old. So I think I might do a Tuesday and Thursday release kind of thing. Might make it a little easier, but I'll let you guys know. The way you can find out if we change it or not, just head over to our Twitter and make sure you follow us. Our Instagram, which I posted a ton today. I've basically been able to keep up on Instagram on all my accounts now because of the new Instagram algorithm, which I can talk about on the tech portion of the show. But it just makes things so much easier. And also our website, www.nolife.digital. And that's basically it. Let's bring on the co-host. What's up, my guy? Guys?
What up?
Guys?
Yeah, I was about to say, we're coming in singular. Or... I noticed that Wayne is literally just pronouncing things wrong just to see if he can trigger people now. That kingdom came and
Vermintide.
Yeah, I want to start pronouncing things wrong all the time. It makes some people so mad, and I think it's so funny. Sometimes I really don't. Like, I just think that words are pronounced certain ways.
Like Mario.
Heard it here first. Wayne's a Russian troll.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna really start to find like just small tweaks to words that I'll just kind of dig into some of these people. Because come on, they're just words, all right? I understand the English language is a beautiful language, but let's get serious here with bigger issues. And as you can see, there's something red on my nose. Not really sure what it is. Might be a pimple.
Probably a pimple.
Might be herpes. Herpes of the nose.
I mean,
there it is. You're going to have to stare at it all day.
That'd be kind of scary if you had herpes on your nose or something. I don't know, man. Like,
dude, don't ask questions, all right? Sometimes you just get herpes on your nose.
You don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Sometimes you just got to Eskimo kiss the fish.
There you go, dude. Ew. The fish. That fucking chocolate starfish. What was that album?
That was Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
chocolate
starfish.
Oh, God.
Hot dog flavored water.
Hot dog flavored water, yeah.
God, what a shitty album.
With such classics as Rolling and My Way.
Break Stuff.
No, Break Stuff was on Significant Other. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I don't care what you guys say.
My way,
when
way on the highway.
A young little troublemaker, Limp Bizkit was fucking badass. All right.
I liked
Explains a lot.
Rolling.
When I was a little kid, I liked the Faith cover, and I liked Break Stuff because, edgelord.
I only liked Rolling because
Break Stuff.
I only liked Rolling because Undertaker.
The break.
Theme. It was the Undertaker biker theme when he was in the WWE.
How about your fucking face?
Dude, Nookie was a good song. I don't care what anyone says. I don't
Nookie
care what
terrible.
anyone says. Lyrically, I mean, they put it up there with Shakespeare.
Did it all for the Nookie. What? The Nookie.
What's another band like Limp Bizkit that was popular? I mean, I guess Linkin Park, but they kind of have a little bit more longevity.
They were better.
Korn was one.
Yeah. Korn actually brought on Linkin Park. Brought on Limp Bizkit, and then they also brought on Stained.
Oh, God.
Yeah. What was that song by Stained?
Mud Shovel? Mud Shovel was the only good one.
Wait.
I was going to say, you just asked the $1 million question. What was the song by Stained?
No, there was one
band. You just didn't know their song.
It was a popular song. It was more like a radio one.
Yeah, they had quite a few. There was Mud Shovel. There was Fade. There was Cause I'm on the outside.
That's the song that everyone knows.
I can see through you.
There was another one that was a big
your true colors.
'Cause you're so ugly. Ugly
Man,
like me.
You sing it with like the tonal.
Hooba stank?
Creed.
How about Hooba stank, dude?
Hooba skank, yeah.
Dude, what about
Hooba stank.
Drowning Pool?
Drowning.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Drowning Pool.
Hooba
I
stank.
had that first album. I actually like that first album.
I did not.
No, there was another one
I
like
had
that.
it, though.
Goddamn, Seether.
Seether stuck around for quite a while, believe it or not. Like, especially down here. Like Shinedown. Shinedown was another bad one, but they weren't like new metal-ish like the other ones we just
Nickelback's newest album.
Slipknot.
Slipknot is still around.
I know they are. I'm not gonna lie. I actually like, what's his name? Is it Corey Taylor?
Are you about to say Stone Sour?
So I actually don't mind Stone Sour. I think his melodic stuff's actually not bad.
We talked about
By the
this
way,
on
while
the-
you guys are talking about this, I have a picture of Scott Stapp up
Oh
on
God.
the screen right now.
With arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
I
mean,
wanna be Kurt
have you heard him do the national anthem? Dude, have you heard him do the national anthem?
Creed doing national anthem. I think we're gonna have to
Yeah,
watch
it's
that.
That'd be better than
Don't.
Fergie.
No.
Oh my God. How many times did y'all watch that Fergie video?
Oh my! Can we play? I'm gonna
Zero.
play that. I'm gonna
I
play that.
want-
Great.
I legit watched that Fergie video. We watched it every day on break at work. We have 2 breaks at work. We watched it on each break every day that week.
Wait, hold
So-
on. Colton was saying something how I can like share something with you guys on
Screen share.
Zoom,
Screen share.
so you can hear what I'm playing.
I think it's an
I don't-
option under screen share.
Oh, I don't need to hear it. Trust me.
I don't either.
Oh, share computer sound.
Yeah.
Banner.
Yeah, but that kind of freezes everything.
That's
That's okay because then I can just do this.
Ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen,
I can hear it,
please rise
unfortunately.
and remove your hats for tonight's
first-
national anthem.
Oh,
Hear it?
no, that's
By
not the right
six-time
one.
Grammy Award winner
Oh, this
and
ain't it?
Dolphins limited
That's
partner,
not it.
Fergie.
That's the first one she destroyed. She's done it twice.
It's
Why is
the
it so hard
NBA.
to find it?
Oh, say, can you see
God.
by the dawn's early light?
Yeah, it's the, yeah,
That started off
Is this
bad, dude.
really what the show's become?
Oh yeah.
Singer,
So we
songwriter,
gotta go to
actress,
these then.
and 8-time Grammy
Welcome to
Award
No
winner
Life
from
Reaction
Los
Channel.
Angeles, California, Fergie.
Be careful, we might get struck by the FBE.
Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly waves
That bass line.
at the
Dude, the bass makes it so much funnier.
twilight's last
Dong, da, gong, gong.
whose broad stripes and bright stars
All right.
through the
Enough of that.
Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Skip ahead.
Enough
Go
of
ahead,
that.
you dick.
Because when I think of jazzy rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, I think Fergalicious.
No, it literally gets better. It's the best when it's when Banner on. Banner
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like Banner. She literally does that. Banner. She adds an extra syllable to Banner. It's
I
hilarious.
follow Chris D'Elia. He's a comedian on Twitter, and he made a video talking about how like don't get mad at Fergie because she sings a song called "Let's Get Retarded,"
Yeah, and then she
That's
acts
what I'm
retarded.
and
Like,
this is exactly what you should expect from someone like Fergie.
Between Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas, they had one good song. That was it, and they lived off of that for way too long.
I could never understand how Black Eyed Peas became so popular.
They did.
I don't get it.
Where is the Love? And it was a great song, and then they churned out a ton of shitty songs that people ate up, but they were really bad.
Yeah, one where the hook was essentially saying how one should get retarded.
It's just a shame because I like Wyclef.
Do you though?
He's solo.
I mean-
But is he in Black Eyed Peas?
I mean, are you thinking of the Fugees right
I
now?
think you're
Oh,
thinking
wait.
of the wrong. I think
Why
you're
do
thinking of the
feel
wrong
like
dude
Wyclef
with
was on
dreads.
that? I don't know. They're all the same. Wow.
Oh no!
No, the Fugees were great because Lauryn Hill was fantastic. If she hadn't gone crazy, I loved her. I thought she was one of the
No,
best.
the
singers
Fugees
of
is
all
one of the
time.
greatest musical acts.
I don't
to
know the
ever
third
play.
guy in Fugees.
Yeah,
I only
this-
know Wyclef and
Wyclef
I
is
could've
not
swore
in
he
Black Eyed
produced-
Peas.
I could have
This-
swore he produced like
The
this.
score is definitely one of the best hip hop albums ever.
I can see how you would get Will I Am and Wyclef mixed up.
Is
No, I
that who-
do not see
Will
how
I
you do that.
I don't fucking know, man.
We know you don't know. It's all good though. All right, moving on. Let's talk about some games. Let's get into the games.
Yes, let's do that.
All right, I want to talk about Kingdom Came Deliverance.
Stop.
It's a wonderful RPG made by
Deep Silver.
Deep Silver. I believe they're an independent game developer, right? It's by Warhorse. They use CryEngine. Yeah, and Warhorse pretty much is independent. Deep Silver being the publisher, I'm assuming. Well, I guess Warhorse publishes it as well, so they both kind of publish this game. All right. Anyways, I got some footage here. I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna have to do this kind of stuff here. But can you mute, please? Thank you. But this game is so. It's so immersive. Like it's like a weird kind of immersion. Like Witcher 3, I think is the greatest RPG to ever be. I don't think there's been a better RPG than Witcher 3.
It's definitely the best Western RPG ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean everything from the combat to the story to just any person that you talk to, there's actual reverence in the story that it leads into. Whether it's a silly quest and that's just how that person is, but it just all adds to the world, and that's what makes it so immersive. And the game is just so much fun. But this is immersive in a different way. It's like more about like it's like a slow burn. Does that make sense? Because like the first 8 to 10 hours is just like the tutorial, and you're learning how to fight. You're learning the story through talking to people and doing these like stupid, boring, menial tasks. Like the first mission, you have to talk to your dad. He's a blacksmith, and then you have to go get him stupid shit from the people. Like you gotta get him ale, you gotta get him, dumb shit. And then in doing so, it takes a long time to do. Like you're not just kind of just clicking around and then you're heading back. Like it's like a slow walking. You're kind of taking in all the sights. You're talking to people. There's a lot of loading, which I feel kind of hurts the game in a way because it just makes it take that much longer. But it adds to that feeling of medieval times. And that's like, I love this setting. I love these kind of period pieces. And I think they nailed it. Like when it comes to the actual look and feel of being in like a small town, back in the medieval ages. And because of that, it keeps like kind of reeling you back in. Like you just want to figure out where this story's heading to. And then finally, after around, I would say 5-6 hours, you get a glimpse of like what's to come and the greater story. And I'm so happy that they did this, but they kept the story. It's not like some grandiose, mystical kind of thing like Witcher 3, where you're fighting, all these demons, and you got like it's more of an epic story. A lot of RPGs are. This is like a lot more based in reality. Like there's different factions, there's different countries that are coming to raid you, but all in all, you're really caring about these small groups of people, whether it's your community or it's this small little castle, just like how it was in medieval times. And I think that also lends into the story, which is awesome. I feel like it wouldn't really work if it was this big epic, because things would be too fast. And I like the way how slow it is. Here's a video of me like shooting a bow and arrow. And that is one thing that is so frustrating, is the archery. There's no reticle, and there's like an RNG on like how the arrows kind of fly, and that gets super frustrating when you're trying to hit small targets, especially from far away. But the sword combat in the game, I'm gonna see if I can find a video of it. The sword combat in the game is really cool because it's I don't know how to explain it. Like, you have this star reticle in the middle of the screen, and there's like here's a portion of it. You can watch it here. So you see that star reticle there? That's basically like what your where your hands are. So the point at the top means your hands up high, and then you have all these little other points where you put your sword hand, and you can string attacks by which way, depending on which way you want to strike. And it leads to a really fluid and natural kind of fighting technique, but it also keeps things pretty limited. Like, there aren't, a massive amount of combos that you can do. It's really just about making sure that you can block the guy efficiently and parry his attacks efficiently, so you can counter. Because if you just start swinging, 2-3 swings and your dude's already gassed. So you have to like really kind of measure your stamina. You have to really, focus on making sure that you're attacking at the most opportune times. So everything that I'm talking about here is just like a super slow kind of, you know what I mean? It's just like this really slow, drawn out thing here. And I kind of like it. I do. It's a change of pace from a lot of the other RPGs that I'm used to, where, everything just feels a little bit bigger and more epic. Where this is really just kind of, just dragging you right down to reality. There's a lot of parallels to Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls series, but I think it is its own kind of game. Like, it's got all these little weird things that just are so unique to this game, and I'm having a really good time with it. I'm about, I want to say 12 hours in, maybe a little less, maybe 10 hours in. So I've gotten a little bit further from like the first main portion of the story. And I want to say like there's got to be another like 30-40 hours if you're playing, like, if you're not kind of going crazy and trying to just rip through this game. There's a lot of little side things to do. So I think it's got a lot of playtime, and I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun. Have you've checked it out, right, Loco?
Yeah, I have. I played a little bit of it. Like you said, it's definitely supposed to be like more realistic and set in in the actual medieval ages. Like, you have real countries and real factions, and there's no magic. There's like, you have like herbalist skills, but those are actual skills.
Yeah.
Like, there's no magic in this game. And like you said, I do really like the sword play, the little bit I've experienced of it with the training guy. And like you said, it does let you select from which direction you're attacking with the sword. And you're right, you have to be really deliberate in combat and really think about your moves and really think about what you want to do. Because if you go in there just wildly swinging, you're going to get parried.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing fist fighting, you're going to get parried. You're going to get kneed in the face. I can't tell you how many times when I did that first fist fight with the drunk guy, how many times I got kneed in the face because I just didn't get the fact that you had to slow down and actually think about your move better. It does have a stamina bar system, and it also has a food system where you have to eat.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So yeah, it's a lot more realistic. I can see where you could maybe compare it to Skyrim because it's first person and it's a massive open world, but it's not. It's like you said, it's definitely not in the same like vein, really. Like I can really see it being a really slow burn. But the thing that I encountered was in the first quest that you were talking about, where you have to go get the tools or get the payment from the guy, the drunk guy.
Yeah.
All right, so I lost the fist fight to him because I didn't understand at first, like you needed to be more deliberate when you were fist fighting. And so I lost the fist fight to him, and I couldn't talk him into just paying me what he owed me. So after that happens, you have to help I don't know if you did, but you have to help your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw shit at a house.
Yeah.
Literal shit. So I went.
I got that video somewhere.
Yeah, like I went and did that mission where we were throwing shit at this guy's house. And then we beat the hell out of his son and his friends when they came back. I'm a great person. And so they run off, and you meet them back behind the drunk's house because they agreed to help you if you help them throw shit at this guy's house. So first, when I got back there, the friends, they wouldn't recognize, like, I'm talking about bugs right now. So the friends wouldn't recognize me when I got back into the area. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to enter the area and it's supposed to trigger like dialogue.
Yeah.
So I had to run all the way back to it said that I was in combat and there was literally nobody else around. So I had to run all the way back to where we threw shit at that guy's house and then run all the way back, and they finally recognized me. And so they started talking. And so they're like, okay, we'll help you. And you go around the corner. And this isn't really spoilers. This is legitimately the first mission. So we go back around the corner, and we beat the shit out of the drunk guy. And he's like, go in my house, take anything you want. And he gives you the key. I'm guessing that's what he did on yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So did you have to get your friends to help you beat the shit out of that drunk guy?
Yeah.
All right. So this is where I don't know if I encountered a bug or if I just don't know what to do. So you go into the house, and the only thing in the house, there's literally one chest. The house is completely empty. It's got like just furniture and shit tipped over, and you can't pick anything up. Or you can eat out of his pot, which I did that because fuck that guy. And he's got one chest in there. So I opened the chest, and of course it has the hammer and the nails.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so what the game wants me to do is get this out and like sell it to get money for the charcoal or something. But you can't sell it.
Yeah. No, you don't have to sell it. You don't have to
just
sell it.
So where do you get the money for the charcoal then? If the guy, because your dad tells you to get the money from the drunk.
You got to you just go back to your dad. So after you lose that first fight, because I lost that fight too, you basically just go back to your mom, and like you cry to your mom, and they kind of make fun of you a little bit, and then you talk to your dad, and he's like, all right, well, he didn't pay you, and you got in a fight, whatever, so here's the money to pick up that stuff.
All right.
So
fair enough. So it's not a bug.
And if you do beat the guy, like there are little other ways that you can pass like that mission.
Yeah.
But no, it seems like you're on the right. I would just go back, talk to your dad, and it should give you dialogue.
I guess I figured it was a bug because I literally encountered a bug right before I did it.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like there's missions in this game that it feels open world, but they're really not. Like there's some missions where if you choose the wrong dialogue, you're just like it doesn't progress you in the quest at all. So I was like, there's this one mission where you have to do something, and then I talked to the guy. I didn't get the answers I guess the game wanted me to get, and I was like, all right, what do I do next? And then I ended up having to talk to the guy again, and then I just had to repeat that thing and then choose the right answers. And I thought that was like really bad. It's like you can't have that. You know what I mean? At least give me a different dialogue that lets me progress through it. You know what I mean? Like if I chose the wrong answers, at least progress me through it. But having to like make me redo all of that dialogue is kind of, they shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, but they did market this game as like an open-ended, like you can play it however you want to play it and complete missions however you want to complete it. You remember Deus Ex? It's that kind of game. And then just to be like, nope, can't do it this way. It's like I was like, once I got the tools, I was like, okay, so the logical thing is to get money.
Yeah, they should have allowed you to sell it.
Like I was like, okay, so I'm going to sell this to a merchant and it'll be fine. No, because the merchant was like, don't be trying to sell me stolen goods, boy. I don't want to get in trouble. And I'm just like, okay, well, what the fuck do I do now? I thought maybe I was like, it's my shit. You know, I thought, maybe they flagged it or it was flagged wrong or something because I thought it was a bug because I literally encountered a bug right before that little scene.
No, and there are bugs, man. Like there's a couple game-breaking bugs. And the worst thing about some of these bugs is that if they break the game, the saving in this game is fucked up. So you can only save if you have these special save potions. And you get 3 at the start. So you don't really want to use them. You want to use them if you're going to like a boss fight. You want to save right before. Otherwise, you can only save if you sleep. So you'll go through, and like I said, this game, it takes a long time to get through some of these missions. The map is absolutely gigantic. So there was this one mission where I needed to go to this fucking town. It's a main story, so I can't really say exactly what's going on. But you have to go all the way back to this town, and it probably takes a good 10, 15 minutes to get there. And I finally get there, and I'm traveling around. I'm like, how the hell do I get into this building? And I must have burned like a half an hour, 45 minutes on figuring out how to get in there. And then I get stuck in like a fence, and there's nothing I can do. I just had to reload, and it started me all the way back, 45 minutes ago when I last kind of woke up and the game auto-saved. So those bugs need to be worked out, which I know that they're going to be releasing a patch soon. Hopefully it fixes a lot of them. I know it's a big game, so there's a lot to kind of, take care of. And not to mention, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I was playing this on my 4K monitor, and it looks so good. It might be one of the best looking RPGs that I've played. It looks far better than Witcher 3, in my opinion. It's so real. The way that they were able to do the lighting looks so good. The character models look great. There's a lot of pop in though, which kind of pulls you out of that experience. If you don't have a pretty good machine, it's not going to look nearly as good, and you're going to get a lot of that pop in. So I think you need a pretty beefy PC if you want to really experience this game. But overall, I'm having a good time playing it. It is fun. I like the combat. I like the small town kind of story that it has. The realism there. I haven't done too much altering. I haven't wavered too far from the actual from what the game wants me to do. But I will be soon, now that the game's kind of opened up for me, and I want to see if it does allow me to do a lot of these missions in the way that I want to. Right now I'm stealing everything, because you can steal shit pretty easily without getting caught. So if you start stealing stuff, the townspeople will look at you unfavorably. Another thing that I think is cool is that if you get in a fight, you'll have blood all over you, or you're all dirty and your clothes are all beat up. That hurts your speech. So if you wear good armor and it's nice and clean and squeaky, they're gonna they'll let you get away with a lot more, and they're gonna see you more favorably. So you have to. There's so many different mechanics. You have to take baths. You have to make sure that you're getting tailored. You have to get haircuts. Making sure that you're keeping the right kind of armor. So some towns there's rivalries and you can't wear the wrong armor, and it's all these little things that are kind of fun to keep up with. The food system's pretty cool, but it is a lot, and I just want to see if it adds all to the game. So far it's been pretty cool. They just need to fix some of these bugs, and I think they got a really interesting RPG, and hopefully hopefully the story starts to really drive home soon. Right now I'm doing these kind of quests that I'm starting to get bored of. I really want to get back to the main kind of story that they have going on. But,
okay, I do have one question though. With those bugs and stuff, and how big of a patch it's expecting to come out basically, do you think they should have just had the game come out 2 weeks later?
Probably.
Probably,
man. Well, I know that this game was in beta. They had a long beta period, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so,
which that's what's odd to me. Where it's all right, we got we release it, and then hey, dudes, we'll fix all the bugs in 2 weeks. Why didn't you just wait 2 weeks to release the game? Unless there's something we don't know about that's coming out next week that would hurt their sales, I can't think of anything. You know what I mean?
The only thing I can think of is that they do it like that, so it basically gets tested on all different types of hardware. You know what I mean? They can't test all different combos of hardware and stuff.
Well, it's that too, but it's not just a PC game, if I remember right?
Yeah, it's on console.
Came out on console too, so
yeah, and
maybe there's a console launch I don't know about.
I hear it's a lot buggier on console.
That's what I just don't get, where it's it. I mean, I know we all bitch about development times or whatever, but it is okay to just be hey, dude, we're gonna put the game out in a month later because we want you to have a good game.
Yeah. Or at least have a patch ready. You know what I mean? At least
they did a day one patch.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. They
Oh,
need
I
like
know.
this
Not
big
enough.
patch coming, man. They need
That's
but-
that's what that's why I'm asking that question. I guess is like, do you think there's enough game breaking that it sounds like they should have just waited 2 weeks because it sounds like a fucking great game and they've done a phenomenal job. It's to me, part of me like is thinking, you guys should have just taken another month. Like it's okay.
No, I don't think it's that bad. At least I haven't. I mean, I have a very, I have a pretty good PC, right? So I'm not in the kind of majority of the hardware that people are using. And plus, I'm not playing on console. I can't say about it on that end. I don't know how bad it is there. But at least for me and I've only encountered like that one game breaking bug. And then there's like small bugs here and there that are minor annoyances. But it's nothing to like really get crazy about. I think if they fix the pop-in, because a lot of the pop-in does break you out of the immersiveness, and that's a huge part of the game. You don't want to just like run into a town and then all of a sudden everyone looks the same and then all of their clothes appear, because that just like rips you right out of the experience. So they need to fix that, and then they need to fix a lot of the game breaking stuff, the way that some of the quests revolve, and then I think they're good, and then kind of tweak it from there. I don't know how it is on console though, nor do I know, like I said, like a regular kind of just like standard PC build. So if it's bad on there, which I've seen a lot of people are saying, it's pretty buggy, then they probably should have just waited a couple weeks and just fine-tuned it, or it maybe had like a longer beta period or an open beta period where they could iron this stuff out before the official $60 release.
Well, at least I know I don't have to worry about starting over, because I know I am going to have to start over because I didn't properly save because I didn't sleep or have a potion.
Yeah, you might have. Well, just fire it up. If you have a continue, then you can start from there, or you just start over.
Yeah,
Which sucks because like
anyway, but it's the thing is
it takes a long time.
Yep, I feel like I didn't get that far, but I actually kind of did. I feel
Here is I'm playing the video now where I get stuck. This is that exact. See it right here. I'm just stuck in this wall, this wood pile here, and that's it. And it took me so long to just get there. Like it took me 35 minutes to get there, and you can tell that I'm fucking pissed off because I'm freaking going crazy here. I'm trying to get into the code and shit. It's not working. So like and there's no reason for that to happen, other than there's just a little thing that they got to fix there.
I mean, it might be harder than a little easy fix, but that's why I was just thinking like they should have just pushed it back a month. That's okay. Like if you have like this game sounds good enough that it's totally fine to push it back.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hurts them. It hurts them. The game relies on this immersive experience. The graphics are insane. They're so good. The combat, the world, the characters, everyone talks. Everyone's voiced over beautifully. The weather effects are crazy. There's that food thing. You have all these different mechanisms that you need to keep up on. And then you have a buggy experience where there's pop-in and there's game-breaking things like that. That hurts the game tremendously. So they should have figured that out. They should have either pushed it back a little bit, or or they need to get a patch out like right now. And that's the only way that they'll be able to save that. Because I guarantee you, once more and more people get into it, you're gonna see a lot of it. Because the game is pretty insane. It's pretty damn cool. I like where they're going with it.
Sounds good. Yeah, I want to buy it, but not yet.
Yeah, wait for this 2-week patch that they said they're gonna release, and then see if it. I'll let you know if it changes it. Because if you like The Witcher or Skyrim, then I think you're gonna like this one, because it's kind of a little bit of both, sort of. All right, you want to talk about Vermintide?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, going off of betas that are kind of buggy, it's going to Vermintide. Which, by the way, Vermintide 2, okay, it's Warhammer universe, but it's based off of the original game, so it's Left 4 Dead basically, just in a Warhammer setting. It's 4-player co-op. You start a mission and you're trying to get to the end of the mission, and you can do extra things to get extra experience. The biggest difference is it's all class-based. There's 5 races who have 3 classes each, of having different skills and abilities and things like that. So that, I mean, that does make it quite a bit different than Left 4 Dead, but the base concept, you know, is you start at point A, you're trying to get to point B, and there's hordes of undead and Skaven, which are little rat vermin, dude. But it's a lot of fun. The game's
So these
really
little rat
well
dudes-
optimized.
These little rat dudes are like zombies, is what you're saying?
There's the little
Compared to
rat
Left 4
dudes,
Dead?
right? Yeah, and then there is just undead as well. Like it's an undead race that's also in a lot of it too.
Oh, okay.
Like so there is both, but I mean, you know, functionally it's you're just killing swarms of meaningless enemies. You have a couple of bosses and larger special units. Like there's and it's all based off of Warhammer. So like there's of the rat dudes, the Skaven, there's storm vermin, which are heavily armored, harder to fight dudes. There's chaos warriors, which is the chaos undead people. They're big hulking armored dudes that you can basically only do damage with headshots, like stuff like that. And then there's just huge bosses like rat ogres, which is a giant rat if it just like got dumped into a vat of steroids for like 5 years and is now like 20 feet tall. But all the classes are a lot of fun. There's basically each class has 2 melee and 1 ranged for the most part, except for the wizard, which is just variations on wizards. But they all have enough to make them feel different with still being they're somewhat similar playstyle wise, because most things, the biggest differences with classes are talents, which alter your abilities, and like your one main ultimate kind of they call it a career ability. It's basically an ultimate. You have to charge it up by killing things in overtime, and then you get to do an ultimate. Those are all different, but the main concept of the classes is a little bit similar, but like play style wise is a little bit different. Like, I mean, like with the range classes, you're obviously doing range. The range system's the same in all the range classes. You shoot a bow, but how they handle that is completely different. Like one of the races, Carillion, which is like wood elves basically, they get double ammo. They try to rely on their ranged a lot more, and you're basically just ranged, which is interesting in this game because a lot of it's melee combat versus ranged. Ammo it's not super rare, but it's rare enough that you cannot just use ammo all of the time unless you go dwarf, and then you eventually get a class that lets you basically have unlimited ammo at the cost of if you have an overload mechanic. And once you overload, all of your shots start also dealing damage to yourself. But like example, like the human version at level 7, he gets his range class, which is Huntsman, instead of normally he's kind of the tank. His class is more, usually when I was playing him, I was getting, say if I got 250 kills, about 125 would be each. Instead of a pure range class or a pure melee class, he was like the most 50-50 split that I found, where most of the other ranged classes were going heavy ranged or they're going heavy melee. But it's a fantastic game. It's like only $25. It's normally $30, but pre-orders on $25. But it's definitely still a beta. It's still definitely kind of buggy. And
Really?
I'm kind of hoping they'll bump it back a little bit, even though I want it to come out because I want to play more. But it's definitely still got some really annoying bugs. Things like if you're in a party, if you go into your menu and someone hits the Q, you're just stuck in the menu. Things like if you go into the menu to switch your class, you'll just be broken. You're just stuck in place. Other thing, most of them are with the menu. If you open the menu, sometimes your mouse cursor is just stuck on the screen indefinitely until you restart the game. There's just beta bugs that had existed in the first game as well, some of them. So I don't know if they'll get fixed, and I'm hoping they'll get fixed. but the games itself is really well optimized, and
It looks great.
it's gorgeous, and it's optimized extremely well. Like even with a 970, I can play it highest graphic settings at 1440p with still over 30 frames easy. Like they did a great job optimizing it. The thing about though with the optimization is don't go under high or else the game starts looking terrible. Yeah.
Now, I know the first one like was just like a sleeper. Like everyone was saying how much fun the first one was. I never played it, but
it's a continuation of the first one basically. Like for a co-op game, it's fantastic. If you got a couple of friends to play with, definitely try it out.
A couple of 3 friends.
I know.
Get a stream going. I did a little streaming today.
No, seriously, like I'm totally down. It's fucking phenomenal. Like, well, I wouldn't say phenomenal, but like if you're into that Left 4 Dead kind of style, it's great.
Oh, I love those kind of games, dude. I love Left 4 Dead so much. So I think this would be cool. Do you think we should wait for the official release? Yeah.
I mean, beta ends the time this episode comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
So you don't really have a choice. That's what I'm saying. Like, part of me doesn't want them to push it back because I want to keep playing it, but I kind of want them to fix the bugs.
Yeah.
The other cool thing is they do a great the way it's rewarding because it does have a level up system with the classes. So you do have a talent system that goes up to 30. You get a talent at every 5 levels. On top of that, they have a loot box system in it, but it's not paid. It's just a reward loot box. So like that's how you get your items. And then if you don't like it, you scrap it for materials that you can use for crafting. So it's all based off of that kind of system. But it feels good. Like their system is actually rewarding because the harder content you do, the better reward you get versus like just the standard loot box basically. Right.
Loot.
But like for every one you do, you at least get 1 loot box, sometimes more, that you get 3 items out. If you do harder content, it's based off of traditional RPG-ish elements where if you just barely beat it or you die throughout it, you get a gray loot box. You get a white common loot box. If you beat it decently, you get a green one. If you kicked its ass, you get a blue one. If you, found all of the tomes that they have, which is an extra XP boost mechanic, but it's also you can't heal with it. You have to put it down to be able to heal and then pick it back up. And also Grimoires, which is similar, but that also takes 25% of everyone's health away. Those both give you extra experience after the end of it, but they also give you better loot. So like say you do full clears, basically, you're coming away with like a purple or a legendary loot box. So it is all based off of how hard the content, like how much of the content you actually did and how hard it was. Because there's also what everyone starts at is recruit, which is a basic level or like the basic normal difficulty. It's the starter difficulty, especially for lower level characters. But the harder difficulty you go, the more experience you get, et cetera, et cetera. The other fun part about going harder difficulties, though, is once you have better characters, you also have to be a better player. Because on recruit, there's no friendly fire. After recruit, there's friendly fire. So
that's some Left 4 Dead shit for you.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, no, it's like for a $30 game, it's great. Like if you just want to kill some time and kill a bunch of zombies, and the fun one with this is most of it's based off of melee. Like a lot of it's based off of shield bash. Like you have a shield mechanic. All of the animations are great. Most of them you can cancel really easily, so you can go into shield and shield. You can be going for a swing and cancel that into a block really easily. Things like that, like with animation canceling. All of that works fantastic, and a lot of it's based off of push blocking. Like that's the best strategy is get 2 people to a door and just have them shield and push block. because it will knock them all down. So everyone behind them can just start trying to kill them, like stuff like that. Like there's a intricate meta you can kind of create for the higher level content, but even like the low level content, it's just a blast.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. I think I'm gonna check it out.
No, yeah, it's great. I will say if you are only playing by yourself, I wouldn't suggest it. If you are interested in playing Corellian, which is the Wood Elves, don't bother. Mostly because right now they're the most broken class at the start of like the 5 basic level 1 characters. They're fantastic. They're a ranger who also gets self-healing because sure, why not? So they're tanky. They have the most amount of ammo and they self-heal. They're really great. So you're never getting into a game with one.
Yeah.
Like you're just not. Because basically if you're just trying to do that solo, it's basically you go to quick play and it'll say, hey, you found a group, but someone's already chosen this race. Choose another one. And then you have to cancel and it'll take you probably like, even in the closed beta, it takes you probably like 15, 20 minutes if you're trying to do that solo.
Oh my god.
And that's not even with every, the entire player base.
All right, cool. Let's get into some news. We got the DICE Awards, which I watched. Maybe I just like skimmed through it. Dude, the DICE Awards are the worst. They're the worst. Have you guys seen any of it at all?
Nope.
We'll take a guess who won Game of the Year.
I have not.
I'm assuming something from DICE.
No.
No, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Zelda kind of like destroyed a ton of it.
Which I mean, it deserves. It definitely deserves Game of the Year. Outstanding achievement in game direction. It wins.
I'm just saying though, like the DICE Awards of the Game of the Year awards, isn't it like the end of February?
Yeah.
Why like I don't like it just seems really late in the year for last year's awards.
I mean, I'm okay with that, to be honest.
I guess it gives the January games or like the holiday games a chance.
Exactly, because that's what it says. That's what I always hate about like, hey dudes, we're doing our end of the year, best of the year awards. I know it's Thanksgiving, but
Yeah.
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 I see Snipper Clips won 2 awards.
Have you played Snipper Clips?
No, I have not.
I don't know if it's an award-winning game, but
Is
it's
it
fun.
multiple award-winning game?
I heard people enjoyed it, but I don't. What did it win awards for?
Sprite game and family game.
I mean, just so you know, the
Family Game, I
best
guess.
strategy game of the entire year was Rabbids.
Yeah,
Mario
Rabbids.
Rabbids wins that one.
Was Mario XCOM?
Well, that's the thing. Like, some of these are so like immersive reality, technical achievement, immersive reality game of the year. These are like VR games, and Lone Echo, Echo Arena. Granted, they are wonderful VR games, and they do push the industry forward in that. But I mean, Robo Recall. Everyone knows that that's the best VR. Like, it's just I don't know how it didn't win. So there's stuff like that comes up. You're just like, what? Why are they choosing that? Why did they choose Mario Rabbids?
Rabbers.
Mario Rappers.
Well, I mean, like
Mario.
from what I know, it's a great game, but it's like that was actually for once a somewhat competitive genre, and a lot of this list feels like they were just like
Phoning it in.
hey, yeah,
That's what it
that
seems
one,
like.
it has Mario in it, that wins.
Yeah. Mobile Game of the Year, Fire Emblems. Again, Crossy Roads.
Crosser Road Overlook.
Gets snuffed.
I don't know. Fire Emblem made a lot of money.
Crossy Roads made a lot of people happy though.
It made one person happy. It made Wayne
A lot of Wayne happy. Wayne probably still plays Crossy Roads.
Well, once
You know
No
he
Life
does.
gets big enough where we have our own award show, Crossy Road Game of the Year every year. Just gonna have to give it its own Game of the
You
Year
get that,
category.
like,
It's gonna be like
Crossy Roads
Donkey
Life
and
Edition.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
yeah.
Okay, well, get to it. I know you want to.
Well, Sports Game of the Year, FIFA 18. Come on. I guess you're gonna have that. Roleplay Game of the Year, Nier Automata. I'm actually not mad at that. But the Racing Game of the Year. Okay. This is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wins Racing Game of the Year.
What
Now,
the fuck?
This last year was probably the the best year in terms of racing games ever. I mean, we haven't seen a year like this. There was the new Forza, which is groundbreaking. The way that they had and I finally started getting to play because I have an Xbox One now. It's fucking amazing. Then you have Project Cars 2, arguably one of the greatest racing games ever. It was, I think, Dirt was on there, even though that's kind of an older game.
We had a new Gran Turismo.
And a new Gran Turismo, which was like the new Gran Turismo. Granted, it's not what everyone wants Gran Turismo to be, but if you're a racing sim fan, it's that. It's like for racing sim fans. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is how old? 3 years old?
Not only that, but
March
it's a remake.
2014. Mario Kart 8 came out in March 2014.
Yep. So a remake, just
No, not a
I mean,
remake.
like
a
a remake,
port.
just a port.
A port.
A port was better than all those games.
I don't get
Which-
how they
don't-
chose that.
Don't get me wrong. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a fantastic game.
Oh, it's fun as hell. I play it all the time.
It is not the best racing game of 2017, though.
I just don't know
considering it
how
came
they
out
were
in
able to
Because it didn't come out in 2017.
I don't know. I don't understand how they were able to choose that over those other. It's insane, man. Like Forza, I haven't played a lot of it, but I've played enough of it to know how it drives, and it's remarkable. Project Cars 2 is insane. I mean, these are like the racing sim games that are going to kind of change the way that racing sims are. Graphically, mechanically, everything about them they're just great. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
But can you play as Mario in them? No, you
And-
can't.
That's the thing. They need to start adding those in there just so they can get those awards, man. Because I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I thought it was a joke. And then I was like, none of this even matters anymore, you know? Actually, Game of the Year, PUBG.
I'm just glad, oh God. I'm just glad Cuphead won like the awards it definitely should have won.
Yeah, PUBG won 2 awards. It was like outstanding online multiplayer game and game of the year.
Yeah, action Game of the Year. I don't know. These awards are they're weird. I want to know, like, okay, say Zelda's not there. Who wins? That's kind of like the fight that
Horizon
I
Zero Dawn.
Probably.
I mean,
That's
I would
my
give
vote.
it to Horizon.
Like,
I-
if it's not Zelda, if it wasn't Zelda, it's definitely Horizon Zero Dawn.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
Nier.
or
Nier,
Mario,
Don't get me wrong, Nier's a good game, but
or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Persona
exactly, dude. Nah, dude, it's all about StarCraft, Star Fox 2,
Yeah,
Star Fox 2.
SNES
on the
classic.
classic.
That's game of the year right there.
Game of the year. Never officially did come out.
All right, Doobie. New visual surface for upcoming Dragon Ball Fighter Z DLC characters Bardock and Broly. Have you seen them, dude?
I've seen the scans, and I saw the 5-second teaser trailers they posted. From what I've seen in the scans, though,
Excuse me, they were 8 seconds.
8 seconds. Sorry, 8 seconds. Just enough, to get a chub. Broly, this dude is gigantic. I saw the scan. He's like twice the size of Goku. I'm very intrigued to see how he's gonna play.
Are they going to put him as a grappler? Because I imagine
I have to
DB
imagine.
is DBZ short on grapplers? I think it is.
Yeah, there's a few characters with command grabs, but they're by no means grapplers.
Yeah, there are no Zangiefs.
Android 16 is like the closest thing we have to the grappler archetype. And even then, I wouldn't classify him as like a Zangief.
Yeah,
These grabs are definitely a big part of his game.
every fighting game needs a Zangief.
All I know is there's going to be a move in there where he's going to grab the opponent and just drag their face on the ground all the way across the screen. And that's going to be a command grab.
There you go.
It has to be. And then Bardock, popular. It's popular because these are both movie characters, which is kind of opens the door for the rest of the DLC. And this seems to be, with the 8 characters we're getting, they're going to do 4 packs of 2, which I'm kind of cool with. And definitely they're going to come with patches, so there'll be balance changes to the game. So I'm wondering what they're going to do, if they're going to buff or nerf anybody. A lot of people are kind of pissed off at Android 16, who is a big grappler, and his combos just extend, and they're really dirty. But yeah, no. So these 2 characters are coming. Don't know when. They are doing patches. I believe at the middle of March, they're trying to get a patch out to help with the online issues. But they've already said that that's not going to be the only patch for the online because they know it's not going to fix it immediately. So they also have plans for more patches, I think, by the end of March, maybe into April. Another 2 patches after that to try to fix these server issues.
Okay, cool. Little Nightmares looking like it might be going to the Switch. LinkedIn profile states Engine Software bringing Little Nightmares to Nintendo Switch, which would be that'd be pretty dope.
I think it would find a nice home on that system.
Yeah, but
portable.
that's the thing with this is like they keep talking about it. We don't see them. Dead Cells is one that everyone's waiting for. It's still not on the fucking Switch.
Hollow Knight?
Get your games on the fucking Switch. It should be the first console that they're looking at. You know what I mean? These indie games are perfect for the Switch, and now they have a huge audience to get these games into, and that's what the Switch needs. It needs.
I'm wondering if it's going to be tied into the next piece of news we're going to talk about. Because I already know Hollow Knight. I believe they're saying when it comes to the Switch will come with all the DLC and everything.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the next piece of news we're going to talk about, if Little Nightmare will come with that, and that's what they're kind of waiting on, is for a complete game to bring.
Yeah, well, the Little Nightmares 3rd and final DLC chapter is out now, so that would make sense. Get the DLC in there and then port the whole thing over to the Switch.
Yeah, one complete package.
Yeah, price it
Almost
at
like the
$30 or whatever. Whatever the price would amount to. But this is it, dude. This is it. This is what you got to do. This is what's going to get Switches into a lot of people who have PCs, they have consoles, but they don't want to be locked to their PC when they're playing games like these. Like that's a big reason why I don't play a lot of indie games on my PC, is because they're kind of a little casual, and the Switch is perfect for that.
So you're not running 4K graphics on them. You don't need your
right.
1080 like Ti for those. They run perfectly fine on the Switch.
You're right. And I'm not the biggest fan of sitting at a desk to play games. Like I like to, lounge and play games. That's why I like playing on console a lot. So I think these indie developers need to focus more on the Switch. That should be their first. That's what I would do. That would be the first thing.
They've come out, and plenty of them have said when they release their games on PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Switch, for the most part, they're seeing the majority of their sales on the Switch.
I believe it.
So they definitely need to up their game.
And right now would be perfect for a game like Dead Cells to come out on the Switch, because once there's a lot more titles on there and bigger titles, it's gonna get lost in the sauce. While everyone has the mains like the Mario, what's the other one? Zelda, like the main ones. Everyone kind of has those for the Switch already. This is where you're going to have to get, like, this is where I would pick up Dead Cells and Little Nightmares.
You fill any of your little gaps while you're waiting for your big, while you're waiting for the next Pokemon, while you're waiting for the next Metroid, while you're waiting for the next Fire Emblem. Hey, here's 3 little indie games you can play to bide your time until then. And they're going to...
That's always been Nintendo's weak point, though. They always have really strong first-party games, like huge first-party games, and then they got nothing.
Yeah,
it's just dead space.
I wouldn't be surprised going forward where I'm not saying they're abandoning third-party, but instead of the third-party that we think of, where it's like EA, Activision, if it's the indie is what their third-party is, and they have shown in the past to embrace indie. So it's just a matter of getting these developers and these indie developers dev kits and getting them to get their games on.
Yeah, immediately. Like Nintendo needs to give them some money if you have to, give them a little cash infusion. It would just I wouldn't have played Shovel Knight if it wasn't for the Switch. I wouldn't have played Binding of Isaac if it wasn't for the Switch. These are games that I'm not playing on PC. I don't want to sit at my desk to play these type of games. But because they're on the Switch, I played them and I fucking love them. I still play Shovel Knight. I love that.
And the Switch is the only place where you might actually get a physical. I know you're all about digital, but there are people out there that do want to have physical versions of these indie games because it's a niche market.
Yeah, and you're not gonna
So-
sell a CD.
Yeah, you're not going to get a PS4 or Xbox CD box case for those, but you will get a cartridge for the Switch.
Yeah. Well, I don't think indie developers aren't gonna spend any money on making cartridges. But if there was like
Hey,
if
they-
there was a
they did it
segment of the
for-
market that would want it, then they could. They could
They,
now.
I mean, they did it for Binding Isaac. They're doing it for Wonder Boy. There's a bunch that they're doing it for.
Hey, have you
because-
played Owl Boy?
I have not played it yet, but I am. Is it
Yeah.
on the Switch yet?
I
I
don't
it's
know.
coming.
It's
or
on
did-
Switch. It's on there.
Yeah, I have to pick it up. It's one on.
Yeah,
It's on my wish
Should I
list.
get it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I
Oh.
would suggest that.
I saw the speed run of it. It was really interesting.
Yeah, this is like the Switches where I'm playing these indie games, like Stardew Valley. Here's another example where I would have never fucking played that game on PC, but because it's on Switch and it's kind of in a lull right now, I've already destroyed Mario. I already destroyed fucking Zelda like 3 times. I'm getting all indie now. You know what I'm saying?
Like-
So.
Even though we told you so far ahead of time before it even came to like Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Well, dude, tell them you can call Nintendo. Tell them I said thanks. All right. Well, that link doesn't work for some reason. Twitch community and YouTube creators. Oh, here we go. Twitch community, YouTube creators join protest to save net neutrality. I don't know what this is about. I didn't read this. Dozens of websites and internet agencies are banding together to protest the FCC's decision to kill net neutrality. Internet advocacy group Fight for the Future has organized Operation One More Vote, which will take place on February 27th. That's by the time you hear this.
Tomorrow, yeah.
The campaign will enlist the help of companies like Twitch and Reddit, alongside organizations like YouTuber Hank Green's Internet Creators Guild, to raise awareness about the appeal process. Only one more vote in the Senate is needed to take the case to the House of Representatives, where co-sponsors can vote to block the repeal of net neutrality. If unsuccessful, net neutrality will be repealed in April. That's interesting. I mean, if that's how you're gonna, if that's how you need to protest. Like, I know, like, standing out in the streets cool and all, but you gotta protest with big companies because that's how you have power. You know, that's where money is.
I don't know,
You
Wayne.
can
Have you ever stood out in the street? It's not that cool. It's not that cool.
No,
It's-
what do you think? I'm some type of peasant?
What I was gonna ask is, are we part of the YouTuber Lollipop Guild?
I don't know. I don't want to be associated with anything YouTube does anymore. So
Fair enough.
that's my opinion on that. But what is a lollipop? What do you mean by lollipop? Guild?
The YouTuber Hank Green's Internet Creators Guild. I was just gonna say Lollipop Guild because it was better than saying that whole fucking sentence over again.
I don't know what that is. I don't know who Hank Green is either.
It's- I don't know who he is, but he created a guild for internet creators on YouTube. And
Well,
he's a
you know
YouTuber.
what, Hank Green? Where was our invitation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait. Hank Green? No, sorry. I was gone for a second. Hank Green, he's the guy who does VidCon.
Do you know what his internet guild is about?
No,
a guild
the-
like a pseudo union.
yeah, it's like it's a pseudo union. No, they're the Green brothers. They're two brothers. One of them's the guys who do VidCon, like the huge video conference for all of YouTube and Twitch.
And the other one is the guy who doesn't give a fuck about guilds or unions.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
what
Internet Creators Guild.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I guess
No,
it's
no.
activity you just pay dues and like what
It's
what,
like the-
what do you get from the union? From
It's
being
like
in
the Screen Actors Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, but that gives you things, you know what I'm saying? Does Hank Green's Internet Guild give you things? Like if you're in the SAG,
They
then you have
they-
certain agents that you kind of go
yeah,
to.
they it's not what it looks like here mostly is they work between YouTube and content creators and also work on help content creators find lawyers basically to create contracts when they're signing up with networks, stuff like
So,
that.
I was gonna say, so are they kind of like a network?
Sounds
I
like
I
an
don't think
MCN.
I don't think they're a network themselves, but I think they're trying to be the middleman so you don't necessarily get fucked over by a network.
Look, I
It's
just
like
wanna
there's-
put
there's-
pranks
there's-
and memes on YouTube. I don't want
Yeah.
a middleman to my middleman.
Well, if you get big enough, you might.
Never,
mean-
never. That's the biggest scam on YouTube, man.
Well, no, I think it's more they're trying to work so you don't get with the scam ones. Like that, like the idea from reading from their website, what it sounds like is they're trying to basically find you a lawyer.
Let me say something. Unless you're Logan Paul or you're H3H3 or you're Philly D, you don't need to sign to an MCN because they're just going to take they're going to take a percentage of your cash, and
Damn.
they don't give you much for it. If you're
Man.
Philly D, if you're that big, but not only that big, but you have like influence, like you can talk to them directly and say, hey, this channel is doing this. Can we, if that's really what they're there for. So until you get that big, I say, fuck them, like why is, what was that one? Broadband TV. Like they were contacting me to sign to their MCN when I had like 20,000 subscribers on my other channel. And I'm just like, that makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm going to give you half of my ad revenue, and in return, I get nothing, and then I'm locked into that MCN for a while. So there's a big scam that they do. So what they do is they go after tons of creators. They just take their ad rev. They hope some of them pop off. But if you're someone like Logan Paul and you've amassed millions and millions of subscribers, you're doing billions of views a year, well, then you can talk to these MCNs, and basically the MCN works for you. It's not the other way around. So I think if the Hank Green Internet Guild is to kind of prevent that to happen, I think that's good. But if their idea is to...
No, that's more what their idea is.
Yeah,
because
I think
heard,
that's good. But if it's the other way around, then that's bad.
Well, no, because they're those two as brothers. Like they made VidCon like for a reason, so people could work together. Like what I mean? Like because I remember hearing one of them years ago.
Yeah, but also
I heard
money,
one of them. Yeah, but like I mean I remember they did an interview with TWIT a long time ago. Like, and they seem more like they're trying to be ethical, because I don't think either of them actually makes that fucking much money.
Yeah.
Because like they've also been in talks. There's been talks to buy VidCon. I don't know if that ever went through.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Viacom
I don't have a
them.
problem with them, doing VidCon to make money. I don't. It's a convention.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I'm just saying, like MCN.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
whole MCN thing is a fucking racket, and convincing me otherwise is going to be difficult, because it's just like there's no benefit for it. There's no benefit unless you have influence. Otherwise they're just preying on your ad revenue, and you get nothing. What do you get to use a certain amount of songs that they have in their library without having to worry about royalties? That was the one benefit that you get. Other than that,
And that's what I think he's usually always been fighting against. Because that's right. His brother is John Green. That's what I was trying to remember.
Their uncle is Tom Green.
No, the author
John Green. No,
the Tumblr famous one, like Fault in Our Stars, all of those.
No.
Yeah,
No?
they made.
It's been a movie.
Yeah.
The
That's
Fault
got
in Our Stars.
cancer.
I mean,
Oh,
okay,
yes, I know that
the rest of
movie.
the internet does.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know that movie with the girl who was in
In that other movie.
Yeah.
Also, the boy that was in that other movie.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
she's
both
like
of them-
smoking
they're
hot. This
both-
girl.
Yeah,
They're both
Cara
in the
Delevingne.
same movie.
It's Cara Delevingne.
What is it? What is it called?
So
DB?
he made that book, is what you're saying?
His brother's the author. Yeah, who has like all of those Tumblr famous books. But they made a YouTube channel forever ago, and then he was the one who got into music creation and YouTube shit.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
then
well,
he's been trying to do stuff for like pro creator. Like he's been trying to do shit for pro creators basically
I mean,
for a long time.
it's just YouTube. It's going crazy, dude. They need someone new at YouTube. I don't know what YouTube is doing. They're good. They're insane. Moving on. Harvest Moon creators new game lets you raise a dragon and run a cafe. Okay.
I mean,
It sounds pretty anime to me.
it's a new IP. It's going to be for Switch and PS4.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta,
know.
dude. Your parents went to sleep, and you still gotta run the cafe. All right, but some old lady comes and tells you that the only way you can save your parents is if you take care of the dragons or you find the dragon.
All right, so
I wish I was kidding, but that's it. So you're
To be-
taking care of a cafe.
to be honest with you, I'll probably it's.
I mean, I like cafes.
It's Harvest Moon, dude.
I
Yeah.
do like cafes.
I'll
Do you
look
really need
into
a story?
It's Harvest Moon with a different plot, but the main everything that I've seen about it, because I saw this about at the start after last show. Yeah, most of it's basically you're running a cafe. You still have to like plant the crops and
Look,
like crap like that.
I'm
It's
just
Harvest
gonna-
Moon
I'm just
just with a
gonna-
different plot.
I'm just going to read the first paragraph and just let me know if this piques your interest. Axis Games is teaming up with Harvest Moon / Stories of Seasons creator Yoshiro Wada, which Story of Seasons is a better Harvest Moon, for Little Dragons Cafe, a game for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 that combines dragon husbandry with cooking and a restaurant management. I'm just saying, dragon husbandry and cafe management. You know what I mean? Doobie's laughing, but he's the biggest weeb here. He's most peaked right now.
He's
like,
got a half chub.
Dragon husbandry is the funniest thing I've heard today.
Yeah, dragon husbandry. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. I
husbando.
might be looking into this. But,
Dragon husbando.
No, but look, if this is a game that's going to come out and it's like $29, $39, and it gets good reviews, I might pick it up
Oh,
just
God.
to fuck with it, just to see what it's about. But if it
I
comes
don't
out,
want anything to do with dragon husbandry.
it's $59.99 and it has okay reviews or good reviews. Yeah,
You're
I probably,
still checking it out.
There's
You're
no
still
way.
checking.
There's no way it's coming out for $60.
look, a handful of core systems are at the heart of Little Dragons Cafe, including the care and feeding of your tiny dragon. Growing,
All right.
growing
I had enough
produce,
of this.
fishing, cooking, and cafe management.
I
I'm
had
just
enough
saying,
of this.
it's like Cooking Mama, Harvest Moon, and Dragon Husbandry.
Blizzard's
Yeah, dude.
Warcraft 3 updates have fans hoping for a remaster. Dude, I'm a fan hoping for a remaster.
Yeah.
I'm a fan hoping for Dragon Husbandry. You ain't ever played.
Dude, you gotta save your mom. Come on.
You ain't ever been playing Skyrim and was like, damn, I wish I could breed these dragons.
I wish those dragons just
man.
fucked. No, I mean,
I'm
see,
ready for
that's
that Dragon
different. Like if
Husbandry
I
co-
could,
coffee mod.
if I could have some like Skyrim level dragons kind of flying around fucking each other, that would be interesting.
No, dude, these are chippies.
Yeah, anime little baby anime dragons fucking is just not my idea of a good time.
I mean, maybe you got to rethink
Well, you know,
your idea of a good time.
I guess
It
that's
is,
what
it is what it is, and there's all kinds.
it is what it is, I guess.
I mean, there's a reason why it's coming out for the Switch.
yeah.
Who owns
We're
Switch?
not the target audience, is all I'm saying.
Me and Jerry, we don't have a Switch.
I might
You
have-
guys
But we
I
are the
might-
target audience.
I might be getting into some dragon husbandry soon then.
Some dragon fucking soon.
All right, so what is this Warcraft 3? They're doing a remaster, or they want to do?
We hope.
Like
That's
we
the hope.
were-
Basically, they launched a new launcher on the PTR, and they're coming out with a pretty fucking huge patch that's updating balance changes to Warcraft 3, and also adding like a couple of things like widescreen support, things like that. But it's
Ooh.
basically a huge patch for Warcraft 3 that came out in like what 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like, a
we've
long one.
been-
But there's also having a huge invitational tournament.
Dude, I mean, if they patch it and it brings some nice, I like Warcraft 3, man. I think it's a fucking great game.
The thing is we speculated on this a long time ago when they
Yeah.
launched the PTR. We were like, oh, maybe this is gearing up for a HD remaster.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other big hope too, though, is because if you go and download the PTR, they changed the installer, and the installer looks a lot like the Blizzard app, and it looks a lot like it just would slot right into the Blizzard app.
I mean,
I
if
would
they make it
definitely be
free and then add in a loot box system, and you had to roll loot boxes for
Oh,
different
fuck
type
that.
of units.
I already own all the
Fuck you,
game. I
Wayne.
already own them all. No, I want HD remaster. Come on.
Yeah, you give me the remaster.
No, I can see they do the same thing with what they did with StarCraft, right?
That's the hope. Yeah, that's the dream because
That'd be
we're not
dope.
going to see Warcraft 4 till WoW's dead.
I didn't get the StarCraft remaster, but I would definitely get a Warcraft 3 remaster. I love
Well,
that. Fuck
the
yeah.
reason why that's also a hope though is because if you open your Blizzard launcher anytime recently, you can buy the StarCraft remaster, but StarCraft is now just in your Blizzard launcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's why that's interesting that they're making it so that looks like it can slot into the launcher. So that's the hope. And also, why would you make a big, huge tournament that you just invited a bunch of old Warcraft 3 pros to stream on Twitch unless you had some kind of news to announce at it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, we called this a while ago. I imagine it's coming.
Yeah.
It has to be coming.
Fingers crossed. Tournaments when this video comes out till February 28th.
I'd be much more excited over a Warcraft 3 remake than the StarCraft remake. Definitely.
Yeah,
'Cause I would-
Sam.
I
love
thought you were about to say more than Dragon Husband.
Dragons fucking no. There's another- like
Nothing
you guys saw
tops
that.
that.
You guys see why I was like really into Monster Hunter now? Maybe I just got a dragon thing. I just never know. Maybe I just got a dragon.
Well, I mean,
This
there's
is
the other thing
2018. There
too.
ain't no kink shaming. Don't
The other,
shame.
yeah. The other thing too is the invitational tournament is called Back to Warcraft.
Well, there we go.
Fingers
What if
crossed.
there's a new World
Fingers
of
crossed
Warcraft? What if they're trying to drop a new World of Warcraft?
that they already just dropped announcements for 3 months ago,
There you go.
and the classics are they already announced two new World of Warcrafts like 3 months ago.
So there's gonna be a World of Warcraft 2 coming out?
No, there's a new.
No.
Oh, just an
coming
expansion?
out.
There's an expansion and then
And
there's classic.
also classic that they're
The
working on.
vanilla?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That Jerry was so excited about, and still.
Yeah, because like that's it's the original game, but it's gonna be a separate game in sense. Like you can't play on a classic server and then like hop over with that character and meet your current friends. You know what I mean? It's gonna be considered its own game.
Well, you can now talk to Pikachu in real time with Amazon Alexa or Google Home. Pikachu will respond with classic lines like Pika, 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 and Pika.
Pikachu.
Can I just say that, man, who doesn't remember the nostalgia for the N64's classic? Hey,
Oh
you Pikachu.
God, yes, I remember that fucking game. It even had
You had to
little
get the
mic that you
microphone.
put it-
Yep.
Yep.
That did not recognize a goddamn thing you said.
No, dude, but you get to run around with Pikachu and yell at him. Like,
Yeah.
come on, dude.
And now you get to do that with Alexa.
You legitimately bought that game, didn't you?
I actually didn't. I had a friend who did, though.
Oh, okay.
So I stuck with Pokemon Snap.
I didn't have that
Yeah.
kind of money, okay?
Pokemon Snap was dope.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap was fun.
I want to snap too, not gonna lie.
I want to. Speaking
you
of
really?
talking to video games, do you guys remember that one on the Dreamcast called Seaman and it had Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah.
See, man.
I kind of want like a sequel to that. That'd be
A
cool because
Seaman remaster?
I never got to play
Seaman.
that. I never got to play that game, but I always read about it. And when I was a kid, and I was like, "That'd be so cool! I wish I could play that game." And I never got satisfaction. I never got to play that game.
He never got satisfaction playing with Seaman.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
shame.
Here's some images of Seaman
Yeah, it's just a fucking fish with a human head, with a human face on
and
it.
a dick on
Oh,
the top,
yeah.
a little floppy dick on the top of his head.
Dude,
by
it
the
was
way.
one of the weirdest Sega games.
I think that was meant to represent like angler fish, but yeah.
I mean,
All right. All right, our last story. Tony Hawk says he's no longer working with Activision on his iconic skateboard series. Legendary pro skateboarder Tony Hawk has weighed in on the possibility of Pro Skater remasters, and the news isn't exactly great for people hoping to see the franchise return. Posting
Feels
on
bad,
Twitter, Hawk pointed out that Activision owns the license to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise, adding that he is no longer involved in discussions with the publisher. Tony Hawk, who's 49 right now, went on to say that he would would be happy to take on the challenge of creating new Pro Skater games for newer systems, but unfortunately for fans, Hawk acknowledged that he lacks the skills or authority due to Activision calling the shots to do so.
They
Yeah, it
haven't-
sucks. This
They
does
haven't
suck.
been. The games haven't been good in years. Like Skate was a better franchise.
Yeah.
Skate's
like-
the definitive skateboard.
Yeah, and I
And
want
there's
to.
only
it is
two
now.
I
It
want a
is
new Skate
3.
game.
But it is now. But I mean, still feels bad, man. Like we
Yeah.
can't all just sit
Those-
here like we didn't play THPS.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it was great.
Those had the greatest
Two,
soundtracks.
Underground 2, and then after Underground 2, you just stop.
I don't know if you guys
American
remember,
Wasteland.
but I love the Tony Hawk series. But then there's a game called Dave Hoffman's BMX that came out.
Yeah. I played
That was
shit.
the best extreme sports game in my opinion.
And
guys
then
don't
did you?
remember
Well, no, you had to get.
Line?
I had got
Or was
into
it
that
Dave
game.
Mira?
It was Dave Mira. It was the one that killed himself.
R.I.P. Dave Mira. Yeah, it was Dave.
There was
Mira's-
another one. There was one with Hoffman.
Was
Because
it?
I remember, yeah, there was, because it came on. The only reason why I played it a bunch was because on one of the Tony Hawk Pro
You're right, there
Skaters for
was.
PlayStation, they had it in a demo hidden on the disc.
That was
And
an
you could just
Activision.
do, you could do the same exact, you could just do the same level over and over and over again. And
Yeah.
I remember doing the same level over and over and over again.
So there was Matt
remember-
Hoffman's Pro BMX, which is basically Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on a bike. But then there
And-
was Dave Mira.
That's the one I played.
That was awesome because then you had like free. It was like, dude, it was great, dude. Dave
Do you
Mira's
guys remember Aggressive Inline?
Yes.
That
Do you-
was hot garbage.
Do you remember that one shitter game that came out after THPS? It was called Thrasher.
BMX.
I
Yeah,
remember
Thrasher.
Yeah.
Best thing about Thrasher was the bail system. How your body would finally ragdoll.
Yeah.
That was always dope.
That's the thing is
mean-
the Dave Mirror game also had that.
Yeah, that's
You
what made it, dude.
Bail button.
I mean, like, there's just like I still will play like the old school Tony Hawk, like
I won't.
1 through 4. And do you remember like unlocking Spider-Man? Come on.
Yeah.
You remember
Well, how about
this
Dave Mira
soundtrack?
Freestyle BMX 2? Did you play that one, Loco?
No.
The second one?
No, I did not.
Oh man, that
was
was the
that
best one.
posthumous?
Because then they had the Slim Jim Man that you could unlock,
Are you for real?
and there was
That's
boobs.
kinda dope.
Oh yeah, there was boobs in that game too. I forgot about that. You can,
So
Which
you can see boobies in it.
you know what the best thing is about this article? The fact that people are actually tweeting Tony Hawk about the video games, telling them to bring them back.
I know,
if
right?
he has any control.
Like he wants anything else to do
Yeah.
except for just chill.
Which game had your favorite soundtrack?
No comment. That's too hard of a question.
That is a really hard question.
I would have
because
to.
they
I would
all
have to
had
really think about it.
soundtracks.
I would have to really think about it, but I think it's going to end up being the first one. The first one is the one with Goldfinger on it, isn't it?
Superman. Yep.
Yeah,
Or was that the second one?
I think that's
I-
the second one.
it's one of the two. Whichever one has that one on it, that's the one I like.
2
the
had
most.
Gorilla Radio on it. I remember.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it also had that Pennywise song. It had a
Yeah.
Pennywise song on there.
Pretty certain it had no effects.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they
one-
had a great soundtrack, man.
Less than Jake.
Yeah.
You guys remember back in the PS1 days where you could take your PS1 games and put them in your CD player and hear the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dead
Yeah.
Kennedys too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Dude, how
Premise.
about when that game would get
Social
released and they would actually
Suicidal
like,
tendencies, dude.
when
Yeah.
they would like break it would like break in bands. Like you would hear bands that you weren't, because there
Yep.
was no like Google search.
mean,
when fucking
It
Pro
was the
Skater was
perfect.
around.
It was the perfect game to have like these short, quick punk songs because of the 2-minute time limit.
Dude, the original fucking Anthrax and Chuck D, like
Oh,
the Bring
yeah.
the Noise. That fucking stupid collab that was amazing. Like Public Enemy and Anthrax. Like that was fucking dude, like yeah, dude. 6-year-old me ate that shit up.
Tony Hawk's tweet says, to anyone asking me to remaster old games or complaining about Tony Hawk Pro Skater servers being down, Activision owns the THPS license, but I am no longer working with them. If I had the skills, authority to reboot servers or code games for newer systems on my own, I would be happy to.
And they ends it with an
But
ellipses, and that ellipses means you dumb fucks.
Wait,
Dude,
so I get a quite like they own the Tony Hawk Pro Skater like rights. Now, if he
Yeah.
made another game, he couldn't even use his own likeness because
Right.
they own that,
they
right?
own his, yeah, they own his likeness in reference to video games. Yeah.
What a bad contract he made.
Dude,
Well,
also, by the way,
it's
Bad
like
Religion,
Madden.
Millicolin, and Lagwagon.
Lagwagon.
Is that off of 2? All off
Yeah,
of 2?
that's all
Yeah.
of 2.
Two has probably my favorite soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 takes it.
Remember the blue N64 cart?
All right, let's close this bad boy up. We'll see y'all Friday for the tech portion of the show. Make sure you subscribe over to our Twitter, our Twitch, and our website. We'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye now.